Good morning. We are on the last part two, being shaped by life, bearing witness, listening. Aloneness is indivisible and loneliness is separation. Aloneness in the purgation of all motives, of all pursuit of desire, of all ends. It is the aloneness of being. It is uncorrupted, rich, complete. Krishnamurti. In many ways, writing is listening and simply taking notes. One of the reasons I love the process of writing is that it enables me to listen until my loneliness opens into a blessed sense of aloneness. The gift of deep silence is that it allows us to let go of what we want to so we can receive what we have. I have always been a learner of the heart, not a specialist of the mind. I can dissect and hone and prune away the excess, but the shimmer of wholeness and the dynamics of oneness show themselves when we can absorb and integrate rather than sort and choose. As a young writer, I would try so hard to be a mirror, to reflect back to everything its color and verve. But as a more experienced writer, I try to be a window now, to open a threshold between people and the inner world. Being still and listening allows us to behold what is before us. The deepest form of bearing witness is to behold another in all their innocence. This is the key to love. To listen until the noise of the world subsides. To listen until the noise of the mind subsides. To listen until the noise of our wound subsides. To listen until we only hear the life before us. Here's a story about listening. Legend has it that Christopher Dock, a Mennonite schoolmaster in colonial Pennsylvania, would come to his classroom early and, with no one there, he would kneel behind his lectern and recite each of his students' names under his breath, holding them in his heart. In this way, he would pray for them. He did this daily, and one day, after a long time of teaching, he shuffled in early and beheld each of his students, one by one, each in his heart. Midway, he died on his knees behind his lectern as the sheet filled with names dropped from his hand like a leaf. Now the question arises, which served his students more? His beholding them with compassion each day before they arrived? Or his critical honing of their minds? And which serves us more? Beholding the world with compassion as we meet it, or chopping a path through the days with what we want? It is not by accident that both poetry and the prayer rise out of stillness, as both are the function of deep listening. So don't try to get anywhere when you write or when you pray. Simply still yourself and listen, and soon, in time, the mystery will begin to speak to you through its thousand disguises as life on earth. Like all young writers, I resisted this in favor of a dream of fame. I worked very hard to create something great out of nothing, only to exhaust my dreams and finally listen. Then the poems came. Then the books came. Then unasked for connections dropped in front of me like rain. When young, I searched for my voice, never realizing what I searched with was my voice. Older, I wanted vision, never realizing that I looked with was vision itself. Now losing track of quests and years, I just want light, which between people is simply love. Now I realize that wanting light is a form of light, and wanting love is what makes Earth turn to the sun. So fundamental that we don't even see it, so elemental that we call it physics, and look for love elsewhere. The gift of deep silence is that it allows us to let go of what we want so we can receive what we have. With this, we end part two, and thank you for listening so far. We'll be continuing part three and more poems that are coming soon with more exciting information. Thank you again.